Man, I'll tell you what, this young generation thinks they know what they want. And you know what? Maybe they do, but today's video is designed to help you avoid the 3 biggest mistakes that I see young people making. And I consider myself young, so I'm talking about my peers.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
Technology is changing the world so rapidly that today's millennials don't want what their parents wanted. They don't want to necessarily pay their dues or put in the time. They don't care about having lots of money always. They don't care about living the life the way that their parents wanted to live, which means we're about to experience the largest wealth transfer in human history. Right now, baby boomers are doing this, and we got the rising generation, but the rising generation doesn't want what the baby boomers have. It means that 87% of all businesses are gonna die without changing hands to the next generation. We got this massive wealth transfer, and I see young people out there making 3 dominant mistakes, and I wanna share them with you. Here's the first one that you would want to avoid. I've got time, I'm young, I don't need to worry about these things. And the problem is that when you do finally get serious about your finances, the one thing that we all share in common that we need, our biggest, most valuable commodity, is time. You can have your investments grow over 40 years or you can have them grow over 10 years. And 10 years will seem like a pittance compared to the 40 years. That doesn't mean I'm telling you that you got to work forever. I was retired at 26, mind you, okay? That financial freedom has enabled me to do all sorts of whatever I've wanted to do with my life. So even though I did it in a short period of time, I still had time on my hands. So compound interest is what Albert Einstein says is the most important creation in the financial arena. And you want to put that to use. Before I share number 2, let me just tell you this. When I bought my very first property and I was doing 30% a year on my money, then when I sold that property, I took the assets and I put them into more deals. Then I was making 60%, 80%. Today I'm making thousands of percents return on some of my original money that I put into the game, which means that I get to work this much and swing a massive arm of leverage to create so much abundance in my world. So people all the time subscribe to this channel, which you're a subscriber. If you're smart, I got a video coming every single day teaching you how to be a financial genius. And I'm telling you right now, you want to have time on your side. The second thing I hear is people say, I want a career. And I want to invite you today in this video to actually second guess whether you want a career. Like a career means that you're going to go work for somebody else for your 30 or 40 working years, and then at the end, hope that you have everything that you need. Science has created all this massive innovation. We're all going to live way longer than we think, and we need to maintain the wealth of our health, and we need to maintain the wealth of our bank account. A career is going to put you in jeopardy. If we were to look for a moment at like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about cash flow quadrant. This will be familiar to some of you. In life, you're either an employee, you're self-employed, you're a business owner, or you're an investor. And I want you to understand, this is the side that gets taxed hardcore, not this side. But this side, this is where people become rich. This is where people become wealthy. This is where people are leveraging their time. You want to find a way to become an owner, not an operator, not a self-employed. Because by the way, self-employed usually means you work harder than when you were employed. This is where you get taxed the heaviest. This is where you work the hardest. This is where, my friend, a career lies. This is not the quadrant that you want to be in if you want to have more time and more money to live life with greater freedom. It's that one word, freedom, right? That one word that we're all shooting for. You've got to find a way to own business. You've got to find a way to become an investor, which means if you start on this side, this is just a little side caveat, you need to get really good at living this one rule. Don't worry about paying your bank loans back. Don't worry about your student loan debt. Don't worry about your mortgage or your phone payment. You got to first focus on paying the most important person that makes all this possible, the operator, which is you, which means pay yourself and invest it, right? Save and invest the difference. But by far the worst of the things that I'm hearing these days, it's something that I even buy into from time to time. It's when people say, I have to love what I do. There's this greed component that comes up that says, I have to love it. I have to be passionate about it. Friend, I want to tell you, there's a big difference between doing something that you're passionate about and then also doing something that fulfills purpose. Okay? Passion doesn't always pay the bills. You can ask a lot of people in the music and the art industry, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't pursue those things, but it does mean you need to upgrade your plan because you want to give yourself the biggest chance of succeeding versus where most people are actually putting their time, effort, and energy. This whole idea of passion. I'm fortunate that I have passion and purpose in what I'm doing. You can probably feel that in my videos. And dude, if you were to like come and hang out with me at one of my events, or just like hang out and sit on my couch with me and talk, you'd be like, Kris, like, do you drink 20 cups of coffee? Is it caffeine that just creates this energy? No. Energy is a choice, and I love living with a lot of energy, and it's because I actually bring a lot of passion into what I do. I'm fortunate that I'm passionate, but before I'm passionate, I'm living on purpose. And so there's a tweak there, there's an adjustment there. My friend, these are the three areas where people, young people especially, are hurting themselves right now with the dogma that's popular, but that isn't going to produce the result that you necessarily want later in your life. Here you're building assets for somebody else. Here you are building your own assets. My friend, I'm going to tell you right here, these people have the opportunity to live life with a high degree of freedom. These people can't stop working. They cannot stop. So you got to get yourself on the right side of the fence instead of the wrong side of the fence. Question which of these beliefs you're actually harnessing. And if you're ready to start building your own assets, and if you're ready for more freedom, I've written a book and I'm going to give you a copy of it for free. Comes with a free consultation. Talk to me, a member of my team, and let us share with you how you can compress and take the least amount of time to create maximum freedom in your world so that you can live life on your terms. If that's important to you, subscribe, because every day if you ring that bell, I'm going to notify you about a video I've got coming up designed and committed to your personal freedom in life, and sharing with you what it takes for you to live life on your terms, ultimately unleashing your own personal financial destiny. Click the links, learn more about my events, who I am, what I'm doing, get my book for free, and let's empower you to put these to bed and put you on track for living life on your terms.